special guest. That's Rupesh Shah, founder of Aarem Engineering. He's an electric engineer based in Mumbai, and they've been doing extraordinary work for the past 22 years. And the last 12 months have been particularly exciting, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So first and foremost, Rupesh, thank you for doing this. And
Thank you.
I mean, it's the start of a new year, and as it said, that what are your new year projections? And I know that you've been, at Aarem, you keep a very sort of close eye on pharma, on beverages, and multiple sectors. What's the sense that you're getting, and what are the kind of projections you have for the industry and the market?
Great. New Year comes with new wishes, new resolutions. But
Right.
the industry that we are in, the manufacturing industry, resolutions don't come, every first Jan. They have to come.
Right.
Resolutions have to start from, way back. So, and it is a continuation of that resolution. Nonetheless, 2025, we are seeing that the industry is going to grow quite a bit. And together, since we are in the packaging industry, and that industry is going to grow quite a bit, because the requirements of in the pharma, FMCG, in various other industries,
Sectors,
it keeps growing. So we being a part of that, we have since we are supplying shrink and stretch wrapping machines to these industries, so we are definitely bullish and in our growth. So the target that we would have, we would be setting is going to be a much higher target.
Sure, sure. And I mean, this is generic and macro, and I know the sense we are getting is sort of a healthy single digit or, of course, double digit growth for our industry. What's the sense that you're getting for Aarem itself? I mean, is there anything exciting that you have in the pipeline? And I allude to the fact that I visited your stall at the PACMEC Expo, a few months ago, and where you had an interesting technology partnership with an Italian company in terms of robots and palletizing. So if you can just spotlight that for our viewers.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what we had displayed at the expo was the first time that we have brought in a pallet wrapping, a robo which would do the pallet wrapping. So
nice.
that has been founded, that has been an innovation by an Italian company called Italy Deepak, who are already 50 years in this line. So
nice.
We are fortunate enough, and we have joined hands with them, and we would be selling their entire robo series of pallet wrapping as of now here. So that is one thing that we are really excited about, because look forward. And why so? Because the machines right now that we are making here are stretch wrapping machines, where the material has to come to the machine. Here with this Robo Leo, we are going to take the machine to the material. So that's how the basic difference is. So we are excited about that, and we are also excited about our own product, which is a high-speed machine that we have developed. It is a servo-based machines, looking to the trends now in the packaging industry, where they need high-speed machines to shrink wrap their products. So we are all we have designed and developed that machine, and we are all excited to get this going in this year.
Yeah. So again, I mean, you alluded to the fact that it's a high-speed machine that you have for shrink wrapping, and I also am familiar with the fact that you've scored quite well both in the domestic and in the export segment, with something like 4,000 installations. Again, curious to know two things. One is what is the sort of product which has been a blockbuster for you? What is your push part two in a way, number one? And number two is that what is it that Aarem scores heavily on? Is it standardization? Is it customization? And what is that little extra tadka that you add to the your product?
Great. Now, as you said in the beginning, we are in this industry since about 22 years. Now, over this period of 22 years, we have seen customer changes in various sectors, because we are involved in various industries. So there was a trend, say about 10, 12 years back, where people were working with lower economics, so they wanted semi-automatic machines. So now the game has changed over the last period of 5-6 years. Everybody has to, their unit economics have become a volume game. So now, since they need to pack volume, come up with automatic machines to suit their requirements. And that, in the last 4 or 5 years, that has become our main product, our main forte. And now we have a complete in-house designing department to make those machines, because essentially these are all customized machines. So we need to make changes as per the requirement of the clients, maybe their product shape, their layouts. So it's a customized machine. So but that is going to be our main product, and this is the product which is going to drive RM for the next few years.
Right. And when you say semi-automatic to automatic, what is the shift we are seeing in terms of speed? If you can just give us in terms of unit number.
Yeah, sure. Semi-automatic would give 5 to 6 packs per minute. That would translate into, if I give you say 60 bottles per minute,
right,
for example.
Right.
And when you shift to automation, that gives you about 10 to 12 packs per minute. So it works to about 120, 200 bottles per minute. So
got it.
That's the various shift that has happened in our country.
Right. Got it. And Rupesh, just again, if you can give us a sense, because what we are also seeing is how, in terms of manufacturing, most of our factories have upped the game. So again, if you can, for your customers, prospective customers, or even end customers, give us a sense of what kind of factory line you have, what sort of automation you have, and what is the sort of mindset when you're investing, etc., in terms of what's happening out there in the market, plus of course your own engineering know-how, if I may call it that. Yeah.
Sure. Previously the designing was done on AutoCAD. Now we have specific softwares, 3D softwares like SolidWorks, where we do the entire machine design first on the computer. We sync it, we see that everything is synchronized, it's working exactly, and then we put it into the shop floor. So when we go for automatic and high speed machines, the design has to be perfect, and it has to give 100 and 100. It has to perform 100 and 100. Even 99 is not acceptable, because otherwise it will choke up the entire line. So we give more preference on the designing, apart from using very high quality bought outs, CE approved bought outs. Then we also use the manufacturing methods where there is a less intervention of human error. I mean, we try to reduce that. We try to reduce. Though we as a machine manufacturer, we make automatic machines, but our machines are still not totally automized in the manufacturing. It is the people who make the machines. But we use a lot of dies and fixtures, so that human element is restricted. So that's how we are coping up with the need.
And as you alluded to, servo motors, and I mean, what I've been noticing, and I mean, you can sort of shed some light on, is that a lot of emphasis on C parts, for example. Traditionally we used to probably ignore the nuts and bolts of a machine. Now I think there's a greater, in terms of A, wear and tear, and B, of course, diagnostics of those kind of things. Yeah, absolutely.
You're perfectly right. The fasteners, I mean, just sorry to interrupt, but the fasteners first it was just that it has to bind something to each other, but now fasteners, we are also looking at aesthetics. So we use a fastener, but it should not be seen. So we try to modify our design in such a way that if we have used a fastener, it should look aesthetically good also, apart from the engineering function.
Right. No, makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And Rupesh, if you can share what your projections for the next sort of 12 months, 18 months are. I know these are volatile times, and every day is a new sort of upheaval that we are seeing in the market. But again, in terms of what are you projecting? Are you planning to invest? Are you going to sort of keep working on products? Are you planning to also introduce digital? I mean, there's a lot of conversation even at in the IPMMI forum that I attended at Karjat, that a lot of integration of what they're planning to do with, say, digital tools in various kinds of machine building, etc. Or, again, your favorite topic, which is standardization. As you've been sort of mentioning that, we talk of standardization, but it doesn't translate really into action. So what is it that, Aarem is planning to do over the next 12 months? One is, of course, all the visible stuff, but, behind the scene, the invisible stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice question, Ramuna. The invisible stuff that we are, we have projected year-on growth of about 30 to 40%. So now to have that, essentially, though our machines are made by people, we need the technology, as you rightly said, the digital technology. So first is our design. It starts with our designing. So designing is we are increasing our designing strength so that
Yeah.
we are able to give the design faster, so that we can make the machines faster. We can before making the machines also we can cater to the customers needs, so that the confidence is created. So that is one we are doing. Then we are also almost digitize our production planning and the operations. So
Nice.
there is a person who just day to day he sees that, and the progress is mapped on a Google sheet. So that is being done, so that even the sales person has an access to it, so he can see what
Right.
stage of manufacturing is his machine is. Sometimes the
Yeah.
salespeople they want the machine faster. The customer pressurizes them. Then we try to do that if it is possible in the production planning sheet. So that is the
Sure.
second. Third, we have started using CRMs, especially for the sales management. So in a machine manufacturing company, the leads can be as old as 2 years. But we cannot afford
Ignore
to
it. Yeah. Yeah.
ignore them. So
Yeah.
with the sales management system, we are able to take care of that. So then
Thanks. Yeah.
there is another on the marketing side, we are going digital. So
Okay.
so that's the need of the hour, and that's what we are regularly on the SEOs are being done, the
Sure. Sure.
YouTube promotion, LinkedIn promotion. We are doing
Makes
that, trying to
makes
keep
sense.
in trend.
Yeah, very busy, very very busy. Okay, now we move on to the part two of our Q&A and big interview. So Rupesh, you have to now up the game in terms of responding very very quickly.
Okay.
So in view of the fact that Aram's obviously a 2 decade old company, and against much of the grain of the industry, there is the assumption that it's a status quo industry and nothing changes. This section is called then and now. So what happened then
Right.
and what happened now? So it will be a series of questions, 10 questions,
Right.
basically about what things were then and what things are now. And we hope through that to understand your journey, RM's journey, and of course the shifts that are taking place in the market. So you've got to be ready for this. So the first one is customers then versus customers now. So customers 22 years ago versus customers now.
Yeah. Customers now are more aware, and they are more clear about what they need.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also more demanding.
Always customers are demanding, so that's not a problem.
Always demanding,
That's not.
right, right. Yeah, a basic service then. I mean, the kind of tech support, service support, all that outreach that RM does. So basic service then and versus basic service now.
That has not changed. Everybody wants after sales support on the
Yeah, yesterday.
the go,
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the go,
yeah, yeah,
immediately.
yeah,
So that is
yeah,
not.
yeah.
But we have changed our methodology in servicing that, so we are able to do that.
Right, nice, nice. The third one is the concept of just in time then. That's 22 years ago versus just in time now. Are things still wanted yesterday?
Things are wanted yesterday at that time and now also, but there is one change. चलेगा नहीं चलता है अभी.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
There is no
That's
चलेगा
true.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Margins then versus margins now?
They have reduced, but you
Reduced,
have to
yeah,
up the
yeah,
game with your innovations and with the volume,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
possibly if standardization happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which sort of nicely dovetails to my next question, which is again your favorite topic, quality.
Yeah.
Everybody talks quality. Unfortunately, quality means many things in our industry and out there in the marketplace. But what does quality mean to you personally and to RM? And what was the quality quotient then versus quality quotient now? Any shift in that?
No, the shift is not there.
Okay.
If we are we call ourselves technically solid and ethical company. So We
Nice.
have been doing that since 22 years, and with the grace of God, we are still kicking, and we'll go another long way, another 25, 30 years
Another
with
50
this
years,
stick in
yes.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And again, a question that keeps popping up in our industry, SKUs, so SKUs then and SKUs now, especially, I mean, this is again your favorite topic, customization, inventory, these kind of things.
yeah.
So
So
again, you can, yeah,
SKUs now have increased because the customer, our customers also need to support their customers. So SKUs
sure.
have increased rapidly, and that is why you need more and more versatile and more customized machines.
Sure,
So,
sure,
so
absolutely. Yeah.
it is a little go back on the standardization, but
Yeah, yeah,
market
yeah.
demands, so everybody has to give.
Right, right. And Rupesh, what is it in sense in terms of ease of doing business? How was it, 20 odd years ago, setting up your factory and, paperwork, red tapeism, bureaucracy, tax structure? So how was it then? How is it now?
It has eased out considerably. I
Nice.
mean, that's you can say that. And with the GST coming in, I mean
Yep.
that manufacturers always had that excise department sword on their head.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yep.
even if you are doing everything right, still they feel that
The
you are not.
fear. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
The fear
So
quotient.
now,
Yep.
it could be, it can, you can say that if you are true businessman doing everything proper, it's a fearless way that you can
Yep.
go.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. And
You can just
certifications?
concentrate on your business.
Focus on your
Business.
business and your manufacturing. Got it.
Yeah, that's right.
Certifications then versus certification now?
Yeah, certification then was not very much important, but now, yes,
Yeah.
there are a lot of certifications that people not only ask for, but if we provide, it carries value, it carries
Sure,
weightage.
sure. And is there sort of additional pressure on you? I know, for example, in food, you have, the Swiss ordinance, you have the Nestle guidelines, and pharma also very stringent. So pressure on
Mm.
your end customers, does that sort of impact what you have to do with your machine components, your assembly line, etc.? Does that factor? Does that do you have to factor that in as well?
We have to factor that in because
Yeah,
again these certifications, these safety norms, what we call, vary from
right.
industry to industry. Now when we
That's
are
true.
giving to various industries, they have their own norms, we have to satisfy them.
Yep. Got it. Got it. And Rupesh, premiumization then versus premiumization now? I mean, there's this common talk that we are in the commodity business and we need to, create a brand around ourselves. So, has that sort of mindset, has there been a shift in that? Do you think?
See, basically, as far as I can talk about the machinery sector, if your
Yeah.
machines are good, they perform, you get a
Yep.
premium. That's it.
Yeah. That's it.
And
Yep.
after
Yeah.
sales support, after
Of
sales support.
course, of course, of course, yeah. And now the big question, which is sustainability then and sustainability now. How
Yeah.
sustainable are we,
Uh,
and what are we doing in terms of the actual practice on the factory floor?
Yeah, sustainable. At that time, it was not even in the thought process. But now,
Yeah,
since last few years, customers are looking to use sustainable films to pack there. So we have to make machines which can use sustainable films. So we have to modify
yeah,
our machines that way.
sure,
So yes, people are asking
yeah,
for sustainable films.
right. And is there a demand again in terms of energy efficiency of your machines, in terms of wear and tear of the machines? Because sometimes that adds to costs like energy, power, green
Yes.
emissions, those sort of things. Yeah.
Yeah, energy efficient is one of the USPs of our machine. So that's,
Right.
and people do understand that.
Hmm. Hmm. Excellent. So that brings us, concludes the then and now, and I think you've scored almost 10 out of 10. So thank you for that. And now we'll just keep the thing going with part three, which is again equally fun, but it's rapid fire. So again, more of the
Okay.
same, but even faster. So yes.
Acha,
Um,
okay.
right. So the first one is trends. One is, do you map trends, and how frequently? And are trends your friends or are trends your foe? Friends or foe? Trends.
Friends,
Friends. Okay, got it. Growth, degrowth.
only growth.
Only growth. Lovely. Yeah. And what about you, Rupesh? What is your style of operation? Do you micromanage your business or autopilot?
We are going from micromanaging to autopilot.
Yeah. And
It's
is
a
that easy?
transformation is going.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Is that easy? Is that easy to do? Is that easy to do?
we
To
have to.
let
It's the need of the hour. It's the need of the
It's a
hour.
need of the
We have
hour.
to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah. And again, we are I won't say we are a country, but we are a community where everybody gives advice. So in terms of that, how much advice do you pay heed to, and how much do you ignore, and what is your system?
Today is the world of information. You get info on the press of a button for
Right.
anything. So
Got
it
it.
is up to your resolve.
Yeah.
It is up to your confidence in yourself that really
Hmm.
matters.
Yep. Yep.
That
Yep.
really matters. Nothing
Top
else.
line, bottom line.
Both.
Yep. Would you want to elaborate? Why is that? To ensure your
For
debt equity is sort of, yeah.
no, no, no. Top line is required for faster growth, and
Yeah. Yeah.
bottom line to again create resources for the top line.
Got it. Good answer. Really good answer. Yeah. You've been, talking about projections, etc. But what kind of business cycle mindset do you follow, and what is your view? Is it long term, short term, marathon, or sprint?
No, it is a long term. In our
Okay.
business, you can't have any short terms. You have to have
Okay.
a long
Yeah.
term vision. Then only you can
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah. But in terms of strategy, Rupesh, how does it work? I mean, one of my sort of gurus, he told me that the long term is a series of short terms. Is that how one should approach it, brick by brick, unit by unit, block by block, or
Uh,
yeah?
no, see, long term, you have to keep changing. It's not that you decide what is there today and 2 years also. You have to keep changing them. You have to keep on brushing those long term plans as per the
Right.
need, what is
Right.
there in the industry. So that
Right.
you have to keep on adapting. You have to
Got
keep
it.
on adapting.
Got it. Got it. And what's your strategy for shopping and in terms of new machines, new technology? What do you do? The method is lots and lots of research or word of mouth?
Word of mouth, and then visit.
Research. Yeah, got it. Factory visits and
Yeah,
conversations and blueprints. Got it. Forecasting of orders. I know you mentioned the CRM and the systems you're following,
yeah.
but
So,
typically, what is the cycle? Quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily?
monthly,
Monthly.
monthly.
Right, right. What do you do about transport logistics? I mean, what is your preference? Outsource, in-house? A lot of people are
Outsource.
in-house. Outsource. Lovely.
Outsource, because it's a
Yeah,
pan India operations. I can't run a
right.
transport
You
company.
can't.
I need to
Yep,
depend
yep,
on
yep,
one product.
yep, yep, yep. And again, in terms of the management, how does it work? Clear, do you have a clear vision, one vision, or shared vision? Is it a team
We are
approach?
going towards a clear vision. We are going
Okay.
towards a clear vision.
Yeah, yeah. And again, this is the big question in our industry, especially where what we're talking of SME, MSME type, operations. Whether you get to scale up to get outside experience or depend only on inside experience.
No, of course, the people that I have here, we take inside experience and also wherever required, because new technologies come up. Also, we need outside support also.
Right, right, right. And what is the method do you have for that? I mean, is it like the consultancy method, or do you have training
Yeah,
programs?
I'll give an example. For the
Sure.
marketing, we have a separate agency who are skilled in doing the
Focused on.
SEO and all that. So we don't bother to do it. They do it, and we just tell them we want inquiries. That's it.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What's important for you, Rupesh? The parts that go into the system or making your process smarter?
Uh, it is both. You need to have very good parts
Yeah.
to get into a smarter system, because
Yeah. Yeah.
if you get into a smarter system and you're using parts which are not okay, it's going to backfire. So it is
Got it.
both. We
Yeah.
concentrate on both.
Yeah. Makes
I'll
sense.
just sorry, I know it's a rapid
Elaborate.
fire, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll
No,
just
no.
elaborate, because the machines that we make, the customer
Yeah.
uses for the next 10-15 years. It's not like
That's true.
Chinese
That's
machines
true.
where they buy now and 3 years it is
It
redundant. No,
collapses. Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely.
our machines, they are run, and we are supporting those machines which will
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
for 10-15 years. So
Yeah,
that is
no, it's
what
an
we have to
important
look
point.
into it.
It's an important point. It's a really important. And then, how do you sort of factor things like metallurgy and machine fatigue and all those kind of things? What is the
Yeah,
RM method
we
for
do
that?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Of course, we have agencies, the laboratories. We get the
yeah,
material tested, and when we need some other thing, we get it tested outside and see that it is in tune with what we require.
nice, nice, yeah. And what is important for you? When you're sort of having conversations, knowledge intensive or relationship intensive? What normally works?
And
Because we are told to be an industry which is, dependent a lot on relationships. Yeah. So.
Yes, I am also for that. It is a relationship intensive industry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Knowledge you can acquire, you can buy. Relationship
Right.
you have to build.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. And this is a question which is my personal favorite, and I am very, very keen to hear your answer. A factory that you visited, either in India or abroad, which wowed you, which you when you visited, you said this is like wow. It need not be from
Oh,
our industry. It could be a customer's customer. It could be your machine partner, etc. Yeah.
I'll give you. There's a company called Rotex Manufacturing and Engineers Private Limited in Navi
Yeah.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
They are wow. Whatever
Yeah.
you have asked me, it is already implemented, and they are already getting the advantage of that, and they are serving the
Nice.
country also for that.
Nice, nice. Very good. Very, very good. I met you last at PacMac. Is there any show that you'll be attending in 2025?
Uh,
Or where
we
you are
have a
exhibiting?
Yeah, we have that Plus Pack in Indore right now. It's coming
Right,
up
of course.
soon.
Yeah, yeah. So
In Indore, Plus Pack.
you have a live
We are
demo there?
participating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
we are.
But would you
I,
also be there at in Düsseldorf for the K show and things like that? Would you attend that?
it is Interpack which is
Which
relevant
is
at this.
more
K is
important.
only
Yeah,
plastics.
absolutely.
Yeah, so
Plastics. That's true.
we
That's
go
true.
there.
Yeah, yeah. And Rupesh, I know you're an electrical engineer, and I mean, obviously that was a sort of a pedagogical course that you did, etc. Curious to know that in terms of you sort of spoke briefly about knowledge. Does learning still happen in the old-fashioned way in our industry by doing? What do you feel? Is that right or wrong? True or false? And is there a way which we can alter that? Yeah.
See now, as I told you that knowledge is available on the press of a button. So there is
Yeah.
no that
Yeah.
old fashioned because now we have to
Yep.
perform faster. So we need to have a
Yep.
knowledge also faster, and the
Yep.
reading sources, the knowledge gaining sources also have to be faster. So
Got
we
it.
do
Got
that.
it.
We do that.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. And one final question that, like I have had the good fortune of having this big interview with you. Is there somebody from our industry with whom you would like to have a big interview? If
Uh,
Rupesh was given a choice and, you would want to talk to someone, who you don't have access to or somebody you look up to.
well, I would like to interview Mr. Amit Shah of Rotex Manufacturing
Of
and
course. Yeah.
Engineers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
He's an interesting person. Yeah. Very dynamic. Very, very dynamic. Yeah.
you have met him. You have met him.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Oh wow.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
right,
great.
yeah, yeah. Good, good. Thank you very much for doing this,
Yeah.
Rupesh. This is most,
Thank
most enlightening. Thank you, and you've
thank you.
been sort of very, very sporting. One sort of final question that if I meet you again in 2026 in January, what is it that I would be hoping to hear from you? One final question, yeah.
Whatever I have said will be, you will be able to see that
In
happening
action. All right. All right.
in
Lovely.
action.
Lovely. Yeah. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And
Th-
we're going to continue to do this wonderful series with the industry icons, members of IPMI. So this is a series that What Packaging is doing and collaborating along with IPMI. It's called the Big Interview Series. We've kicked off with Rupesh, founder of Aarem Engineering, and please tune in, subscribe, and do all of those very clever things and ensure that you're part of this wonderful knowledge sharing experience that we are going to bring to you week after week, fortnight after fortnight. Thank you. Thank you to you,
Thank you
Rupesh.
to
Yeah.
you and me. Thank you to you
Yeah.
and me
Thank you.
for
Thank
having
you.
me.
All right. Over and out.